Well, looks like I'm live. Let's see. Hello, Lucinda. A little bit. Linda Life. Tank Girl. Glad to see you here. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Heck. Oh, my. Did everybody watch Two Leaves in a Pod last night? Or Thursday, I mean. I mean Thursday, not last night. I'm doing fine, Lucinda. Tricky Chi, I see you there. A little bit. Is my voice okay on here today? Two leaves, Gabe, I did. Well, you were there, Gabe. I guess you did. Tammy B, Noreen, Rin. I seen you on there last night, Rin. Or not last night. I'm sorry. I keep saying last night. I seen it late. Oh, now my thing here isn't working as well. I did, and I love seeing Leslie's husband. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen him, and he's a pretty slick-looking fella, and very, very nice guy, I thought. Oh, let's see. Okay, good to see you here. Fly in the sky. How are you doing? Is that Itzy? Is that how you pronounce that? Carly? Itzy Carly? Sugar Runner. Someone here I haven't seen before, but welcome aboard. Noreen said, rewatch the episode. Yeah. Leslie's upping the game. That's, I'd say so. I'm kind of interested in seeing how her live goes when she starts explaining some of the legal aspects of submittals and things with it and these court cases. It's going to be, I think it's going to be interesting. I think we'll see pretty good information on it. And we'll have Leslie being a former lawyer and her husband being a lawyer at this time. And between the two of them, they have a lot of experience in a wide variety of things. Oh, let's see. Pebs, glad to see you on here. Good afternoon to you too. Oh, heck. Gabe, please give Jules extra treats. I got my little pet in here watching today too. He's down here beside me. Oh, Noreen says game player. Tully says I've got a whole bag of pork rinds for her. Ray, please give your puppy extra treats. Let me tell you, between him and the cat, they break me in treats alone. They're according to my budget thing there that keeps track of my expenditures. It looks like I'm spending between the two of them something like $150 a month on food, maybe a little more than that, and probably another 50 in treats. I'm going to have to start making or baking stuff for them, and then using that stuff for treats. Having connection issues. If I disappear, I'll do my best to get back on. That's Peb's having a little connection problems. Ed, I see you on there. Glad you made it on here. My weather here, it snowed a little bit last night. Not much, just enough to cover things up, but it's cold. It's down around 30 degrees right now. Yeah, Tracy says her food is about 140 a month. See, I've just got a cat. My cat weighs around 12 pounds, 11, 12 pounds. And my dog weighs around 26, 27. He's a Sheltie. And I buy a Science Diet for him, wet food. And I buy Royal Canine for the cat, but it's a cat food. And it's one so that if they decide to go somewhere in the house, you don't get that terrible odor, supposedly. I have an automatic scooper for her, so she gets on it once in a while. She get on it and ride it, if you believe that or not. Hi, Mrs. Tom Selleck. I'm glad to see you on here. Yeah, my cat likes to chase the vacuum around. My daughter and son-in-law bought me a vacuum cleaner that goes, it's one of those automatic, just runs around the house. And that cat likes to ride things, so it's trying to make up with it. That one day it followed it for over an hour, I think, just back and forth. Lucinda said she baked a ham and it's done. Oh, Tricky, you've got prescription food. Yeah. Lisa on there, that's Gabe on there, Pebs. Let's see, what is really annoying is memorial for memorial that never was in a chair. Painted red, middle finger, all of it. Yeah, that whole thing that they did with that, it's more than disrespectful. It's anybody that was in that town, what they've done is they've showed that town of Otter Creek they can do anything they damn well please, and there's nobody there that can do a thing to them. And it's kind of like rubbing your nose in the mud, or it's just, I can't describe everything I feel about it. I'd probably end up in jail, or I'd probably get my channel taken down. But I can tell you this, it's one of the worst things to date, I think, that they've done. And they've done it to the whole town. It just, they're extremely disrespectful. And because of it is a memorial, I consider it a demonic thing. That's my personal opinion about it. There's no way that I would want to give them credence of any goodness at all. Those people have sold their soul to the devil, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure exactly what all you were defining there, Bearded. Yeah, I know, Tricky. As far as Jeremy, I don't think he really cares about anything out there other than himself and whatever he can control, and then of course money. That type of a person doesn't have real feelings like the normal person. Yeah. The people that follow that, there's a lot of them want to be noticed, and they try to see if they can one up the other one. And so it gets very vicious. That one Facebook thing they had out there, that used to really get carried away. They say some things that I've never heard of before. And I've been around a long time, so it pretty well upset me. I still don't quite understand what's in their mind. I think the evil is the biggest thing I can say about a lot of those people. Yeah, there you go, Ren. Yep. Every time we give them a little credence, then they pat themselves on the back. And I know that right now they're doing everything they can to destroy my credibility. Oh, man, I can't hardly believe how far and what the things they're willing to say about a person. I'm pretty mild in how I describe people or things, but these guys are beyond vicious. It's in another realm, and it's almost like somebody turned the bowels of hell loose, and all these demons have come up to the surface up here and decided to attack everything they see. Yeah, the disrespect to that family, it's just beyond reason. It really is. Yeah, you're right. I do think they do it mostly for attention, the ones that are in the comments. But there are some in the comments, they're just plain evil. They're bad people. And if they get a pat on the back from the creators of the channels, they go gaga. They send money. They do everything they can to support these people. It don't make sense. I mean, I think most of us have had a pretty good background, and we don't know really how to contend with it. YouTube should be ashamed of themselves for letting them post all this. Well, remember this. YouTube is here for one reason and one reason only. And that is to make money. They're a corporation, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make that money. And so anything they can do within reason, they're going to do it unless somebody takes them down. I believe that when this court stuff is brought up, if it gets much attention at all, YouTube is going to be heavily involved in what happened and how all this thing got going. And it was because YouTube allowed it to go. They actually promote what's going on, if you really look at it. I would say that a channel like mine with very few viewers gets very little help from YouTube as far as being scoped out. But I would say on the bigger ones where they have $1 million payouts a year, I would say they get a lot of attention because they're making so much money for YouTube. Yeah, it says they complain about Lisa grifting, but Megan Tugg blatantly grift for a mock memorial. Yeah, and not only that, they said any money left over goes in their pocket, not somewhere else. They're not doing that to help anybody out. Those people are crap, man. I'm telling you, they're not good. They're not good people at all. Like I said, they've been coming after me, and they come after me everywhere, not just on these channels that I'm on. They're doing everything they can to pull me down, and they could care less. That part of it that they're doing is on the hateful end of it, not the monetary. Cindy, I see you're in here. I almost missed you. Hope you're doing fine. I did get a bargain the other day when I went to Walmart. I'm kind of a sucker for snacks, and they had a cheesecake. It was only 8-inch. It was New York's original, they call it. And man, it is good. And it was on the last day for purchasing. Of course, I purchased 8 inches I can handle. I put them in small triangle pieces. They're not triangle, but wedges. And I get about 6 treats out of it. So that was pretty good. And I've used 2 of them. And I've been wanting to go to furniture store and buy a Davenport or couch, whatever you want to call it. And hi, Terry Bear. I see you're on here. The store, and Paulette, I see you're here. Great seeing you. Well, I have to put my hand way up there so everybody can see it. Let me see if I can do a little better. How's that? There we go. I got my camera on the side over here. Yeah. And anyway, the furniture, I was really disappointed in it. There was either really good furniture or really poor. And I know what they're trying to do is they're trying to hit whatever you can afford out of your pocket. They want to sell you something. Well, the problem is the really good furniture is fair at best of that store I went to. And the poor stuff wouldn't last a month or 2 before you start having problems with the padding and stuff. Man, this stuff is really getting bad out there. It's not like it used to be. You could buy a Davenport or a couch and it would last 20 years. And then you could take it in and have it recovered and repadded and last another 20. So going bad there. Cindy said, I'm doing okay. Doctor put me on a new med yesterday and it's making me kind of loopy. I have to go for a back x-ray this coming week. Well, I hope things work out for you. My prayers are for you, Cindy. Please kind of keep us posted on how you're doing. Wish I could say that I want to say without getting in trouble. That was Ren. Now, I know the feeling, Ren. Tanya, how are you doing this morning? Anyone complying with any of them are just guilty, spreading MS and disinformation. Yeah, it's been bad. You know, this whole thing when they went after Leslie way back, and I knew the shit was going to hit the fan because they found somebody they could go after that was easily upset. And she really blew a cork. And then they went after Double. And then after she decided that enough was enough and backed out and said, I'm going to take it easy now, go do your thing, and I'm going to do mine, and we'll just go our own way. And that only lasted a few months. They found her, went after her full blast, got her fired. They've done everything they can to tear this woman up. And I feel bad for her that she has to put up with that. And after seeing her husband, I feel bad for him too, because he's been drug into this thing. They went after him as well. And they went after her family and the school and the students. I mean, when you look at that, that's an awful thing. You get that many people coming after you. That's a mob. Stratlover, I see you on here. I'm glad you're on here. Sequoia, I see you got it. You made it on here. Great. Glad seeing you here. John Cook, glad to see you here. Well, I wish you all the luck coming up. I think it's on the 23rd. I want everything to go your way. You're Michelle and little Harley. Betty, I see you're on here. Good morning. Steffi. Well, we got a lot of people on here today. Is there anything specific anybody wants to talk about? I mean, is it just I know it's a little cold and chilly, and we had a little bit of snow last night. First, it was slick. I took him out about 8:30 and slid across the back porch. And this morning, there was just enough snow on it that it was, I could walk on it. But if you try to go too fast, you slide. Betty, I keep thinking it's morning, but it's not. It's afternoon. Bearded, I hope everybody's having an awesome weekend. Peace from the Northeast. Meriden, Connecticut. The Bearded Fisherman, prayers and serenity. Attitude, gratitude will allow you to have a better life. Thank you, Bearded. Thank you. Cindy says it's cold and rainy here today. Yeah. Sonia, how is it down there? Or Tanya, how's that down there in southern Iowa? Did you get hit pretty hard, or is it cold, or in between? Oh, you're eating right now, Tanya. Okay. See what else we got going here. Tank Girl said 27 degrees, hoping for snow. Linda Life, 78 in Florida. Whoa. Man, I could use some of that weather. Tanya says 45 for the high. I don't know how warm it's going to get here today. I heard that we're going to get up in the 50s here in the next few days sometime. And that was just happened to see a little bit of the news today. Steffi says 36 there. Yeah. I was right on the fence between 32 and 34 when it started getting iced up on my porch last night. And this morning it looked like it still was right around 30. I'm not sure. Leona, afternoon. Oh. Deep South Texas just got a cold front here. Yeah, when I lived in Houston, I was there long enough so that if it got down in the 50s, it felt pretty cold. And the nice thing about it was usually in the afternoon, it would get up high 60s or mid 70s when it get cold in the mornings. But Linda says just perfect, not too hot, not too cold. I know 78 is great. I do miss the warm temperatures in the winter down south. It's not bad to see the snow a couple times during the year, but I hate fighting the roads or the chill that you get when you're out there for a little bit. It's supposed to get in the 40s, Betty said. Stradler is high in the high 80s today. Wow. That's warm. Barry says, I just watched a video of one of my buddies from Texas. His name is Ty, who does a fishing channel, catching giant bass. So beautiful out in Texas, man. Yeah, I loved it when I lived there in Houston. I lived on the northwest side. And, it was good times. I do miss it. There's been a lot of times I wished I went ahead and retired in Texas. And probably if I had to do all over again, I might have probably done it. Rin says, love everyone, but I have to go before I get your butt in trouble. Well, Rin, we hate to see you go just because you think you're going to be in trouble. Oh, heck. Steffi said, need to call my dad, see if mom is being released from the hospital today. Let us know, Steffi. Everybody pray for Steffi's mother. Hopefully she gets released today. Tara says 25 Fahrenheit here, cold. Terry Bear. Ed, 48 there. Ed, you're up in Canada, aren't you? I'm so over this weather a little bit. Yeah. Bearded says, as soon as I get my butt back in gear and ready and get a car. I got a few invites on a few channels from a few different states in the United States, and can't wait to take them to under their offers. Well, maybe you'll make it down to Florida this spring. I'll be down there in a few months. It says Rin is not allowed to leave. Since I was able to fix for Hamburger Helper, and I'm cooking my first meal in my room. You know, I think I still have electric skillet sitting downstairs somewhere. It's almost like new, but I use that in a lot of the hotels or motels where I was going to stay for a week or better, so I could have a nice warm meal in the evenings. Let's see. It says still ignoring. Mike, glad to see you. Almost said good morning, Mike, but this afternoon. I have a hard time getting used to trying to come in here in the afternoon. I didn't know how well it would go over today, coming on here for a little bit. I think sometime this afternoon, late, I don't know what time it is. I think that's when Leslie and her husband are going to be on here for their, I think it's their first live to go over legal jargon. So I'm going to try to make it there. I want to make sure that I listen to it. Oh, I was going to tell you, I like those frozen meals in a bag. You know, it's good enough for anywhere from 2 to 4 people. You just throw it in a pan and throw it on medium heat for about 15 minutes, and they're cooked up. It's got all your vegetables and meats, and, seasonings in them. But I got a Zatarain's with had a cream sauce in it and some shrimp. And a lot of times when you cook a meal up like that that's got the shrimp in it, the shrimp gets so hard you can't eat them hardly. But this one, if you cook it like it says, by the time the shrimp thaw out, when it's cooked with the vegetables, it's pretty close to where it should be. But what I also did, I bought a whole bunch of pre-cooked shrimp, but they weren't, overcooked. Okay. And they were, I think, 16, 20 count. I thawed them out quick, like a 5-minute thaw. Set them aside, dried them off, salted them up real good. I took another pan and I started it, and I put butter and just a little bit of olive oil in it. And the shrimp, I sprinkled just a little bit of salt on them. And then just as the meal got done, the Zatarain's meal with the shrimp in it, because the shrimp that they put in are real small, more like bait size. I put the bigger shrimp in that butter for about 3 minutes, just enough so it tries to curl, when you cut the back of the shrimp just a little bit to devein it, how it'll pop out, the top will. And then I took that, it's cooked in butter, a little bit of salt, put that in that mix, mixed it all up, okay? And when I pulled it off, I let it set 3 or 4 minutes when I pulled it off the heat. And then I used bread, for the sauce, to dip the sauce out afterwards, when you're doing it. Wow, that was good. That was as good as it gets. So that maybe ended up being one of my future staples. See. Grandma Bucky, good afternoon. I didn't see you earlier. You're canning bacon. I've had canned bacon. That's good. Believe it or not, when I had it, I was in the military. Stacy says, "Oh, those skillet meals are good. Hubby liked them. Gourmet, a quick meal. Got a quick meal. It is quick. It's good. You can add things to it. There's so many things you can do with that meal. That, and they've got some. If you like mac and cheese, you know that type of a meal along with the vegetables and stuff. They've got those out there with that too. And you can get the different Chinese ones that are good. So, yeah, they got me back. Now I do add things to some of the meals. Put my touch on it so I can say I did something. But for me, at least I don't have to spend hours trying to prep things before I cook something. And that's what those frozen meals do. Edie Murray, hi. I just noticed you on there. I've been trying to spend a little more time looking at the chat. That's the reason I'm running this thing, is to try to go back and forth with the people in the chat. So, and Linda says, "You're making me hungry now. I want some shrimp." Oh, believe me, I'd be eating a lot more shrimp if I was down there in Florida. I always used to like to go to, wherever there was a fresh market, whether, when I lived on the Gulf down there. But I used to live out on the West Coast when I was in the military, out in the state of Washington. And boy, I got some shrimp out there. They were as big as small lobsters. Man, they were good. I've always loved shrimp. Oh, Steffi says she is at home. Thank you for the prayers. She has stage 4 COPD. She developed pneumonia and she had lung failure. She's on a ton of meds, but she is home. Yeah, I'm in pretty much the end of stage 3, where I'm getting to the point where walking is a real chore. I'd had RSV a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago. 3 Christmases ago, 2 years ago. And it did a number on my wife and I both. And I never did get everything back that I lost in that roundup. And I think that's about the second time I've had a lung problem in the last, say, 5 years, 6 years. I'm not on oxygen. That's my next step, is oxygen. And I'm more thinking that I don't want to go through the last stage. I'd rather just hurry it up and get where I'm going one of these days here. So I know what I got to go through on that last stage. My neighbor and I were at the same lung capacity a few years ago, and he happened to deteriorate quicker than I did. He was still smoking when he was in his 60s, and I had quit back in April of 1987. So I had quit a long time, even though it was too late to fix the damage. And I guess that's what made it so I could live longer. Unfortunately, he was, I think he was around 77 or 78 when he finally passed away. And he was in stage 4, I think maybe a year and a half. But the last 6 months were quick. Heart and liver, I like. Grandma, I love liver and heart both. I grew up back in the 50s. We lived on a lot of stuff, and liver. I particularly, to this day, the reason I like it, I guess, is that I grew up on it, and You can cook it so it isn't so dry that you can't stand it. Myself, I like it, drowned in onions. You know, plenty of onions on it, and it makes good gravy. I'll tell you what, I'm a fan. Lutherman says, "What's up, Ray?" Well, Rich, I've been thinking about you. I've been hoping everything is going good, and have you been served? That's the important question. No, I haven't seen the gator, Luther, Rich. I know what you're talking about. Oh, heck. I'm not sure. I think he was caged, wasn't he? Maybe I'm mistaken. And maybe I'm thinking about somebody else. I'd swear that he put his foot in his mouth and stepped in a hole. But somebody told me he did. But that's hearsay. I know. I'm glad to see you in here anyway, Rich. No liver for me, Nimdick said. If it's cooked right, you'll like it. I know a lot of people have a distaste for it, but if it's cooked right, you'll like it. Let's see. Steffi says she is 84 and full-time oxygen. They bumped her up to level 3. That's pretty high. Yeah, she's a little over middle to end of her stage. Praying a lot, but looking at the brick wall now. I need proof of life for Germ, but he only wants to send proof of. I gotcha. Liver and onions is fabulous and really good for you. Right now, I'm saliving. You know what I'm going to do? I'm telling you this. I am going to go in probably today sometime. I'm going to pick up some fresh liver because I'm hungry and it don't take long to cook it. So, man, I'm going to have some. And I've got some onions right here up there. They're ready to slice and throw over the top. Heidi. Liver is one of my son's favorite ever since he was little. I think if you eat it when you're little, your whole life, you're going to love it. Linda says, if you ever get to Sarasota, I would love to have an adult beverage with you. Linda, you're not going to take advantage of him, are you? You know he likes it. He likes his booze. So, Jeremy Hales, Memorial Garden. How can there be a memorial garden if you're alive? There you go. That's right. And I seen what you put up there, Rich, and he apparently he never answered. Well, he can't answer back if he's not here, can he? That's right. Oh. You've tried every way to make liver. I know it's really good for you. Well, if you overcook it, it's going to get really dry. And the best way is when you're cooking it, if you can't tell by the pressing something into it, just slice it just a little bit and look at it. It doesn't, you'll get a feel for it. He says, or Edie says, I don't like the way old timers made liver like leather, but we sure like the way I make it. Loads of onions, gravy, and saltwater potatoes. Oh my goodness, homemade applesauce. Wow. Wow. Yes. When I was a kid, and my mother made it on a regular basis. It's chicken hearts and tripe. Yep. I like liver sliced, fried with onions and mushrooms. Super yummy. That sounds great, Stacy. Keep it up. I'll have to shut down and go into town and get me some liver for tonight. Tanya said she had a taco salad. I like taco salad with put a relish on the side, and a little guacamole, refried beans. Let's see. He says, I have two sons that love it and one that won't touch it. Oh, heck. Richard's in here, Bearded. He's been making comments on here. Didn't you see him yet? Pev says Leslie and Britton will be alive on 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, all right. I'll make sure I get there. Everybody, Eastern is for you. They're in the Central. That's 8 or 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. He says instead of dredging it in flour, use a complete pancake mix. So they keep it pretty moist, I take it. Yeah. You know what? I've been having to take iron when I lost all this weight. But you know what? I'd rather be eating liver. That iron, sometimes I have to run for the bathroom. It goes through me. Stuffy. Pep says, I'd rather stick hot pokers in my eye than these smell and look at liver. I think, when I grew up, if we wanted to live, we had to eat everything that was out there that didn't eat us. And I just ended up one of those guys. I had an iron stomach when I was a kid. I tell you what, one of my favorite meals growing up was ham and beans, with the white beans in it, navy beans they call them, and cornbread. And I used to put the cornbread in a bowl and put ham and beans over the top of it. And then I always put a little hot sauce in there. I like Tabasco or something like that in there. And then raw onions, dice them up fine, put that over the top of it. And I can eat a lot of it. My wife used to make enough. It would last us 3 or 4 days. We would eat it, especially wintertime. She was a great soup maker. I miss all those soups. Let's see here. Yeah, I seen your video about the bucket deal in there, Bearded. Yeah, the other day I had steak and loaded potato, and it was filling. Says, were you stocked again, John Cook? Unreal. What happened? Did I miss something in there? John, did they stock you again like the wolves they are? Yeah, Steffi says, same here, Ray. Yeah, when you're having supper, all you gotta say is, Ray, we got a meal here. You don't have to tell me what it is. I'll be there. So, Grandma Buckeye says, I'm sorry, John. Somebody let me know what happened. I missed it. John Cook got a body cam and start wearing it. Yeah. Yeah, get a body cam. Yolanda, glad to see you on here. It says, I'm getting hungry. Take care. I know it's sitting here looking at this chat. I'm starved. Edie says, I can't eat pork. I'd walk over you for a good pork chop, but it wouldn't stay down. It goes so bad. I can't smell ham cooking. Wow, wow, wow. Can you eat like lamb and stuff like that, Edie? A little bit's going to make homemade fajitas for dinner. Yeah. All that stuff sounds so darn good. Sharing your ice cream bearded with your pups. Oh, Yolanda has ribs. Let me tell you, I've got, I think, 3 or 4 racks of pork ribs down in my freezer right now. And the last times that we've been cooking, we've been doing it in a slow cooker and then finish them out in the oven about the last 15 minutes to put a glaze on them. But they've been coming out tender and good, cooking them that way. Then Nick says, I just like food. I feel that way. Trick of the trade for dog treats, doing this for years. Just take nutrition dog kibbles in a separate little treat plastic container. The pups recognize it as dog treats. Just reward with those. Sounds like, you know what? You're right. They do recognize or listen to whatever you're taking the treat out of. The cat and the pup both. He's over in the doorway over here, so I can't get through there without him seeing me. Well, the way you do it, Ed, is send John one in the mail. Oh, wait, I never thought about that, but you know, you can go on Amazon. If you have his address, you can go on Amazon and have it sent to him too. And sometimes that's a lot easier than anything else. Donations that come through a channel, you know, a percentage of it goes back to YouTube. But anything you send direct is theirs. Nobody knows about it except you and that person. Let's see what we got here. Travis, just want to be on his bended knee just for germs. Yeah. One thing about it, he's not his own person. That he apparently sucks hind tit from Jeremy for sure. At least it seems like it. He's sure not the person I thought he was when I first seen him. I still have a few quarts left over from last time I did beef bones. Oh, is that where you got some stock? You know, I do have some, I don't know if it's chicken broth or beef broth in the refrigerator. I better check it. Lorraine says, I've trained my dog with niblets and everything. Lucas says, I'm heading out. Got to get laundry put in the dryer. Have a great Saturday and be safe. Love you all. A little bit. Thanks for stopping in, and you're always welcome, Part. It looks like you've done a good job with your pups. I know from what I've seen on them, they're pretty lovable puppies. That's bearded there. Mm. Throw in lots of veggies, season and roast for a long time. Yeah. Mm. 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 The my wife used to make some roasts, in the pot, in the slow pot there, and those, with the vegetables and potatoes and cauliflower. And, man, I tell you, we used to like that better than steak, and a lot of it I know was because it was so tender. But the taste you get when you merge all those things together is just beyond imagination. Uh, Bev says she wants your little pup, bearded. Oh. He's willing to let you babysit him, Pebs. Crock pot, yeah, crock pot. Yep. I've got it. It's a pretty fair size crock pot in here, so I can cook plenty of things. And I probably should start doing it and then freeze some of it so that I can just thaw it out and have it at different times. Bearded, I don't think she meant anything about putting your pup in a crock pot. She got caught up in two different conversations, and so did you. uh, yeah, I was trying to think of crock pot. Problem is, I get to thinking about something else, and I had said crock pot earlier than slow pot. Instead of calling it by name, I was calling it by what it does. I make chili in a crock pot, and then I portion it out and freeze it in containers and bring it out as I need it. Yeah, my wife used to freeze chili once in a while, but she did freeze a lot of the vegetable soup. And the chicken soup, usually we ate it up before. It didn't last long around here. It seemed to, especially in the wintertime, it cured us of all of our any ills. If we didn't feel good, we could eat the soup, and especially chicken soup. Stacy love a good pot roast, and with spuds, carrots, celery, onions, and gravy. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Right now my stomach feels like it's empty. I mean, really empty. And I just had some cheesecake before I sat down here. You guys are making it hard for me to talk because I'm thinking about food, and now my stomach is acting up. I'll be breaking out into a cold sweat here pretty quick because I'll be starved to death. Yeah, I've got my crock pot upstairs here. I got a little island over here. Go eat, Ray. I'm going to. I'm going to. Usually what I do is I'll eat sometime around 2:30 in the afternoon. And then later on, towards the evening, I have some kind of a snack along with a dessert with a pot roast, post roast. I don't know about a post roast, pot roast though. Oh, Ed. I see it says number 2 on there. I don't know why. I haven't really been watching those on there, Ed. But Cindy says I would share my hamburger helper if you were here. Thanks. The grilled cheese sandwich. I always like grilled cheese sandwich. We use a seasoned tomato soup along with it sometimes. Mm. Oh, good. Oh. Lauren says, need protein. Pep says, please like and share Ray's video. Strat Lover posts some really good and easy recipes as well. I really, you know what? I really am going to go in and buy some fresh liver, though. I am glad you guys brought the subject up today. And they, I'm thinking, yeah, and I've got plenty of potatoes, so I can cook up a baked potato or something to go with it, or fry it, one of the two, or fry it a little bit and make gravy, pour a little gravy over it. Boy, all of it sounds so darn good. The gravy with a little bit of onion poured off into the gravy over the potatoes and the liver would be excellent. Always has a basil soup that is awesome. I've got some basil soup in my pantry over here, so. John says, I guess I got to go make a police report like I had to do at Walmart. You know, John, I think that Yo-Yo does not have any boundaries. You know, there's just, he's got away with so much so long. What I feel bad for, it's almost as if the town has been treed. I don't know how it happened, but you don't hear any repercussions back from anybody living there anymore. And every once in a while, somebody would come on and let me know about it, but not so much anymore. I think people must be awful scared of him over there. It's the only thing I can figure out. Thumbs up. Tanya says, thumbs up. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to beat tomato soup. You know, this basil soup basil tomato soup is good. I mean, really good. It takes it to another dimension. Yeah, we know his focus is on Lisa and Leslie. Yeah. You might have a lot of ammunition and those old bang sticks, but it only takes one of each to get the point across. When I was young, we didn't have a whole lot of money. We counted our ammo and we made it count. That's all I could say. Yeah. John and Michelle, for a few years now, have not been able to leave their property without being seen and followed in some manner. And if you think about it, that town, they probably wish they could go back to when they didn't have cameras all over the place watching them. Because now that whole town is being watched. And think about the people that have to live next door to that guy. You know, Tina and Brian, now he's threatening them on a regular basis. And he's been doing it for quite a while now. And he seems to think he's going to get all that money back from that property he bought, as is, obviously. In other words, he bought it where it sits, as it sits, and has to do his own due diligence on it. That's the way it was sold, and he got a hell of a discount for getting it that way. And now he wants to come back and sue somebody over it. I think the suit is nothing more than content, my opinion. Tanya says just exactly what I was thinking. I would absolutely get sick of that. Yep. It's starting to pick up on me for some reason. They're trying to destroy my reputation. I'm one of those guys that money isn't an object for me. So, and they can't go after my wife. She's gone. So now they're just doing whatever they can to destroy my world. These are hateful people out there. I don't know what to think of them. Well, they're just bad. I'm lucky I don't have to pay for my beef hearts and liver. My butcher that does my goats and lambs when I buy them gives it to me. Yeah. Yeah, Helen, I don't know. It seems like right now there's nothing that's going to stop that guy. At least it hasn't to date. Pebs, I want to tell you something. The complaints that are sent in, okay, besides going to the law, as far as I know, very few of them have gotten any more than a look at from a bot and not responded to, other than responding to the fact that they looked at it. Nothing ever comes back. So these people are running wild and getting away with it. And because it's a group the size of it is, we're talking about millions of people that are looking at this stuff. YouTube isn't going to give up that monetary return that they get, not easily. Now, the only one I know of that has been made YouTube sit up and take notice was Richard Lutherman. He's the only one that I'm aware of. Now, I might be wrong. Maybe somebody else did, but I think he's the one that went after him and got him. So, yeah, these guys, they don't care. All they want to do is destroy people. And, I'm in their way, I guess, of what they want. I'm content for them and nothing more, obviously. They don't care one way or the other about people other than themselves. But that's, from what I can see, that's what it looks like to me. Pepsi, I really don't have to worry. I have a feeling all charges on everyone will be dropped because there's no merit. If they do drop it, I think it's going to be a ways away. And if he does, he'll go right after somebody right away. One of us that's in there, or two, he'll concentrate on. This is something that is not going to go away until the courts settle it. I'm just telling you. Cindy said, hello, Lisa. I didn't think Lisa was in here. I think Gabe was. Oh, okay, Lisa. You're saying it is you. Okay. Oh, Stacy says, so true, Ray. Well, they picked up the speed on going after some of the things on me, and they are trying to destroy my reputation itself. And there's so many of them, they're following me just about everywhere now. Like I say, there's not much I can do. They're getting away with so much. And a few times that I have went to YouTube, all they do is the bots take it, acknowledge it, and they don't go any further with it. And I guess that's about all you can do. The way I feel about it, it'll end up being part of the court system if we get that far. And YouTube will somehow have to acknowledge what's going on at that time. Or else Richard will get on a warpath and go after YouTube, and he'll get him. Like I say, he's the only one that's been able to get him so far. And he used the Florida law and was able to get his channel back and his videos. So let's see. Oh, I was going to say, Jeebus has had a couple pretty good videos up lately. So if any of you guys haven't seen his channel, man, the difference between him and some of the other channels, you can see why he hit the million. And the one thing he's been talking about lately, are, of all things, are pizza cutters. And it looks like he's selling one about every 10 minutes. I'm not kidding you. It's kind of a joke, but he had a bunch of them, and all he did was mention it, and they started selling like hotcakes. But you just have to go over and look. Jeebus is very smart. He's a heck of a salesman. Yeah. And you got to see his kid. It's family friendly, by the way. Your children can watch his show. You don't have to worry. There's nothing on there to worry about. You can actually watch it. So I found it pretty interesting. I did go over there and look at it. Lisa says, okay, I'll check it out. Yeah. He picked up the pace. He's going for the next stage now here pretty quick. So he's got the million. Now he's going to pick off 100 grand at a time till he hits the next stage. So John says he sent a message to Lisa. Monica, good to see you on here. He says there was a cooking YouTuber who lost his channel for bogus reports. Sued YouTube to have it restored, won the lawsuit, but YouTube still has not restored his channel. Yeah. YouTube, they dance to their own tune. They may have rules, but the rules aren't made for everybody. Cindy said, thank you so much for my package. It came last week. And she just made it to the mailbox. Hey, man, I laughed. Jeebus left JH in the dust. It's not surprising. Remember, Jeebus' channel really is about lockers and he's a very intelligent person, and he can talk without saying the same thing twice, and he can talk for an hour and about the lockers. So he's an interesting fellow, and he's a big guy. I think he's 6'4" or 6'5", something like that. So and he's, listen, when he talks, it's more like a breath of fresh air out there. He's not a BS or anything like that, and he doesn't go after anybody in his channel. He's doing his the right way. He doesn't have to chase people down, hit them over the head or anything like that. He's a nice guy. So, and he's got quite a family there. Stacy says, I love Jeebus and family. They do great things. I admire the guy, quite frankly. He went after something and he did it. It took him 10 years, and he was able to get to 1 million subscribers. That's an accomplishment, especially running a channel as clean as he does. Strictly says, the YouTube lawyer said YouTube has 3 employees and AI. the one thing about AI out there, just to warn you, when you use AI to get you an answer, it can give you a false answer. Um, if it runs out, if it can't find the right one, it'll absolutely give you a wrong one. So be real careful when you're using it. I, I fooled around a little bit with AI, by the way, and I'm finding a lot of ins and outs about it. I found some things out there, and the safest way is when you're going to ask a question, ask it a couple of different ways and see what AI comes up with. Let's see. Debbie, how are you doing? Just letting you know I'm still watching, LOL. Just don't chat much. Okay, Debbie, I'm glad to see you came in here. Jeebus has too many subs with 2 weeks. He has a lot of them, man. He only has to say something once, and man, it just goes wild out there. Barry says, I love how they're so family oriented, and actually how they go like waffle shops and their son, and they all eat together. And I mean, that's cool. It is. It really is. It's a very, very good channel. I was watching his live when he hit the mill. I was cheering and so happy for their accomplishment. Yeah, I watched it when he come down to it, and he was. I was watching when he was. Did you see when he was getting his plaques? And the last 100,000 one came before the million that one, the gold one. The silver one came, and then the gold one come later, the next day or something like that. Georgia, glad to see you in here. Good afternoon. I have to be careful how I say things because I keep saying morning half the time because I'm used to being on here in the morning. Mindy, I'm glad to see you in here. Everything going okay, Lisa? I haven't done a lot. I've been at your channel to see it most of the time when it starts, and usually after an hour and a half or 2 hours, I'm asleep. I try to get caught up on some of it. But I always go back the next day and I finish your videos up, Lisa. I don't want you to think I've left and not looking at it. Jeebus is successful because he is, in my opinion, he's a good person, and he's not afraid to put it out there. He does a good job. Matter of fact, he does better than a good job. A million subscriber tells it all. Germ's ego gets in the way, though, and I bet a lot of subs are from Germ. Well, I think they both had a lot of subs in the beginning. I'd be willing to bet there was, they know each other, as far as I know, they know each other pretty well. And the difference is obvious when you go on either channel. One is refreshing and the other one gets into the hate stuff very much so that it's overpowering. And the ones that follow and make a lot of the comments are from that section. And they go after anybody that isn't that way. Birds of a feather. Yeah, there's nothing he can't say anything bad about Jeebus. He would lose part of his fans. Definitely, it would cost him a lot out of his pocket, not only on what he loses, but what he would have to buy just to get back into to be noticed again. Jeebus may hit the 2nd million before what's his name? Jeremy can get another 100,000 or even 50,000. I don't know where he's going to go, but I just can't see that channel growing much. If you noticed how stagnant, my opinion, obviously, how stagnant it has gotten, uh, it's, and I don't know if it's just because it's more like a cesspool or if it's because it failed. The hygiene isn't that great. And I've noticed now with me, see, my hair is real light. So if it gets dirty, you're going to notice it pretty quick. Yeah, it goes all over the place. But if you notice on one of them there on his channel, I'm not going to say which one, looks like there's streaks of grease through the hair. I just noticed it is all. And I noticed one day it was from, from bangs back, it was kind of greasy looking. And I thought at first, well, maybe it's hairspray or something. It wasn't. It's all right to have hair, but if you don't keep it clean, it starts to stink. And the only thing you can do at that time is put a smelly oil of some kind on it, I guess. I don't know. And that's just an observation, and just my opinion on the whole thing. Hygiene is a very important thing, and if a person wants to be good, you got to kind of look good too. Maybe too much time in that trailer. Maybe that's what's doing it. It gets hot in there and you sweat, and you know how stuff goes. I'm sure there's a good excuse, some way to spin it to where it looks different. Let's see. Pebs, I think envy is what drives him more than greed. I think it's a little bit of envy, but more greed than anything. As far as envy, he thinks he's the top of the hog. I'm telling you, the money is really important because with the money comes power, and he loves power, and so he would give up the envy part for the power and the money. I can tell you that would come before anything else. That opinion again. It's not like I'm not getting sued, right? I think. Listen, I think that Jeebus will make it to 1.5 million way before Jeremy even comes close to making $1 million. I'm not even so sure he can make $1 million. If you noticed in the last year, or actually the last year and a half, his channel hasn't grown very much. Cindy says, housekeeping just came in. Love you all so much. Have a wonderful, great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Cindy. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Lisa put up the figures on her channel the other night of the number of people that watch her channel, percentage to the number that subscribe. And she blows everybody out of the water, way out of the water. The people are extremely loyal on her channel. They come on to watch her, and they hit the like button and the whole works. So for all these other channels that are so big with a big head, they don't have the same response that Lisa does on hers. Minnie says, do you have your road trip mapped out? In my mind only. I am going to try to get something mapped out so that I can figure it out. And try to get more concrete dates coming up. I'm kind of hoping weather will be on our side when we go down there. And a little bit of it is trying to make sure my son-in-law is going to be able to take a vacation on part of it, because he's going to fly down there to greet us down there after we're there a while. So. Jeebus is hi there, Robin. Jeebus is a breath of fresh air is the best way to put it. And I believe he's honest in the way he presents stuff. I don't think he's trying to BS us. I think he's a good showman. I really do. I mean, anybody that can talk like he can continuously is good. Well, you're getting disconnected from the internet. Yeah, it can be frustrating. Do you have a weak signal there, Pebs? Noreen. Getting an auction license for business selling is okay, but talking to auctioneer voice is not necessarily talk normal. No. I tried doing an auctioneer's chant. There's a song out there. I used to be able to do part of it, but I'm just not good at that. It's part of it might be because I'm getting a little older and I can't talk as fast, but usually it's just, flipping the tongue around a little bit. I can, once in a while, I can yodel. Yodel. Oh, let's see. Grenick says hello. Thank you. Robin says Locker Nuts is another great storage YouTuber. I don't know if I've seen that one or not. Or you think your router connection wire is broke? They can, if you call into the company, they can check that connection to your router from where they're at, or they should be able to. Jeebus and family themselves, they don't need scripts. It's natural and organic. It is natural. Do you see how intelligent their little boy is? Dusty, I can see you're on there. You're going to build a stand for your printer? Okay. Thanks for stopping in, Dusty. Yeah. That's if your cable is having problems, usually they can check it from if you call into the cable company. All right. Steffi, I'll take a look. Okay, AT. I know exactly what you're talking about. Do you know how much money they were actually charging him? My understanding is it was double. And the reasoning they were using on it was they said since he had a 2-inch meter instead of a 1-inch, he had the capabilities of higher water outtake. Okay. Now, just to let you know, they're a little town. And obviously he wasn't going to use a whole heck of a lot more water than anybody else unless he let it run wild, which shouldn't make that much difference. But each company has to estimate the amount of water they're going to utilize to hit certain plateaus of availability if they want to let somebody build in their town. Okay. So when you start doubling water meters, that means the capability is having to raise, okay? And it might be that insurances, equipment that you're going to buy, we'll have to take that in consideration, and it'll cost them more for the equipment. Now, I'm sure there was a way they could try to justify it. But they did it before they did justify it, is my understanding. They didn't actually have it in their minutes, nor did they give notice. They just did it. And they didn't do it to anybody else, apparently. It's not unusual for something like that to happen in a small town. But let's say he did double the cost of the water. And so it went from $20 to $40. We're talking a very minimal amount, and it should have been able to get settled at a council meeting. How it got way out of hand, I think you're talking about a lot of butthurt people there at the time, because he doesn't come in and is nice about it. He comes in and is very blustery about it. You've seen how he reacted with his neighbors. That part, if you're saying that everything he's done is justified by that, man, I'll tell you what, you need to bark up a different tree. And he got $5,000 back out of the whole thing, and it didn't cost him $5,000 increase in what they charged him. And I'm not so sure that if they would have went by about the right way, they wouldn't have got extra. I don't know if it would have been doubling the water bill, but he doesn't use all that much water there. So it was very low, what he was actually paying. Maybe you ought to get a copy of the bills just to make you happy about it. He went in there and was going to try to run the town, and in fact, he probably did before it was all over. And he's never forgotten about what it is there, because he gets so many people talking back about it. The other thing is, the one thing that I seen about that water system I didn't like was they should have every meter out there should have had valving on it so it couldn't back charge. And I don't know whose responsibility it was at the time to make sure those meters were in there, or that valve, but his didn't have it on there. And their system that they had was pretty bad. And the filters, if they have the tendency to plug just a little bit, you get this back and forth surge, okay? So it's going in, hitting the meter, and coming back out. And you're getting charged for it. Because if it's not backing the meter up, the water backflows, backflow valve isn't working in there, then you're getting charged every time that does that. So you're getting a higher charge. But so is everybody else in town. It's just with a smaller meter, they get charged a lot less. You see what I'm talking about? Now, he's the one that wanted a bigger meter because of the distance out there. And he thought that the distance would cause him problem not being able to get water there, would be able to keep the pressure up. Okay. And that's why he did what he did. He could have put half as much in there and still had the same pressure, and just kept us, there's a lot of things that can be done with a water system that the town they just don't have that kind of money. When you take 100 people trying to maintain that, think about it a little bit, what the cost is. And, they went after Russ for an expenditure he did on filters. And the money he had spent was actually for the filters, and he didn't charge for his labor. There was a lot of things that weren't told about everything that was going on there. And unfortunately, people believed everything that was said. That's too bad you do. That system, if everything was up to snuff, they were running it like they're supposed to, the cost is going to be a lot more there in that town. It just is. John said, "This sucks. Instead of driving home to let my dogs out, I've got to sit and wait for a sheriff." Wow. I missed something in there, John. I don't know how I did that. I got off on a tangent here talking about the damn water system. I think mocking bullying an 80-year-old 5 foot tall lady because of an extra $20 is hateful. All you had to do is put in a complaint. It, you know, the poor clerk, she ended up having a stroke. I want you guys to understand the clerk has to follow what the consul tells them to do. She didn't come up with all that stuff by herself. She took the heat for it. Okay. We're talking a small town here. Now, they've got things going. It sounds like they've got their paperwork in hand, but they're doing it right and all that stuff, and they got going in the right direction. And I'm glad they did. But when we come in and start throwing rocks at people because maybe they don't know the job as well as they should, or they've got so used to just letting things kind of run. Nobody, 100 people. How many people are going to run for a consul? You got 100 people there in that town. How many want to take the time out to do the duties that are up there? It's pretty hard to get anybody to take a seat there. And it'll never be efficient, no matter what you do. There's just not enough people. So it's kind of a bad deal. They're better off if somebody else was running that whole water system, if they turned it over to another town, if they could even do that. Part of the system is my understanding is they used to make turpentine there. And the residue gets into the ground, so you're going to get a little bit of a chemical taste no matter what you do, and you'll never get rid of that. When I say tainted water, people started making fun of it. But I'm telling you, the business that was there at one time probably poured part of the turpentine or the residue from it was out there in the groundwater. And when your groundwater is just a few inches or less than a foot down, you get a lot of it's just bad stuff in that top layer. You got to go deep to get good water. It's got to get down deeper than what the penetrants or the solvents and stuff that were out there. Turpentines, it ends up being a solvent of types, and it's just not something that people should be drinking. Where did they stop John too? Anyway, somehow I missed that part of it, and I missed more because I was talking about the darn water. Yeah. Outside the Ace Hardware? Okay. Somebody was out there waiting with a camera. Jeez. All right, Pebs, I see. Yeah. You might want to call whoever you're getting your system from and ask them to come out and check it. Yeah, I get your point, Monica. Everything did change on that channel. Outside where I think they're talking about the hardware store. Yeah, John was in the store for 40 minutes and came out with a camera in his face. the queen of my house out there, people need to understand that there's a lot of people following him that are as bad or worse, doing his bidding out here. And that's my opinion again. I say it because no matter what, everything I say gets copied and scrutinized and gone over a dozen times or more. Makes its rounds out there. Birds of a feather type deal where they do their thing. One thing I'm going to have to do pretty quick, though, is I think I'm going to have to shut down pretty soon. Not because of what we're talking about, okay? I'm going to have to shut down pretty quick because I really am going to run to the grocery store and get a few things. And obviously, if I can, there's a store in there that I sells pretty good meat. I'm going to buy me some liver and I'm going to get some of that cooked up. I don't know if it'll be today or tomorrow that I cook everything up, but I am going to do it. And I'll report back when I get, I'll have something to talk about next time that you guys made me do. I can blame it all on you guys. Yeah, Stevie says, yes, he can prove that they're sitting waiting for him outside for sure. That's right. Steffi says, you can go eat. You have to go eat, Uncle Ray. Yep. You guys made me hungry. I'm starved to death. Bobby, hey, how you doing? You just got here? Yeah, you can go back and in a little while, what was on here will come back up. It takes a little bit for YouTube to go through the chat before they release it. Mindy says liver. Yeah. I haven't had it for a while. And I used to love it, and I still do. And I know not everybody does, but back in the 50s, a lot of people had to eat whatever was available. And it gets to be kind of a thing that you have a hunger for after you get used to eating. I can't remember not liking it, but yeah, especially smothering it with onions. Caramelized onions. Don't forget, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Leslie and Brian will be sorting out the truth on WTF-67, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, okay? Don said, I'll see you all on 2 Lees. Have a good day. Yeah, Lees will be on tonight too, 2 Lees. Yeah, his name is Michael. That's right. What's something else said up there? I liked it when it came on Lisa's show Thursday. And I'm figuring this is going to be a pretty good show. At least I'll be able to see some of the right ways to interpret legal documents. And that's actually what I'm interested in right now. Anything that I can use in the near future is going to help out tremendously. How do you cooking it? I'm thinking that I may go ahead. One of the people in the channel here said something about using pancake batter to coat it in, and I might try that. But normally, I just fry it up with a little bit of flour on it, and I cook onions in there. I let the onions caramelize over it, and I flip the onions over on top of the liver. And then when I flip the liver over, I put more onions on top of it again. And I don't cook it real long. I don't turn it into leather. I keep it so it's still moist and tender. Believe me, you'll know when it's cooked through. And you can tell by pushing something into it. Or you can go ahead and slice a little piece open. And it does cook very quick. It cooks quicker than most meat. If you make it into leather, then it's so dry and it gets hard, you can't hardly eat it. So It's kind of take your watch it. There you go. Watch it thoroughly while you're cooking it. And if nothing else, just cut a little piece off, put it off on the side, and cool it off a little bit, and then taste it and see if it's good and tender and cooked the way you like it. But anyway, that's the way I like it. Helen says Maxi Labs put out some BS video today. Who is Maxi Labs? I guess I haven't followed a lot of that stuff for a while. Leslie and Michael will be on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pep says, love you, Ray. See you all tonight. Tori at 8. And Leslie, 10 p.m. I thought Leslie was on at 8. Yeah, Tori and Leslie both. Okay. Yep. He's the furry. He's the guy that likes to wear a wet diaper or something over his costume. Man. Maxie, the cat person. The one who raised the funds for the guy who accused John about the gun thing. Oh, geez. These people have the balls to try to say I'm weird. Man, they hang around with people like that. That's sick. Man. But anyway, that's enough for today. Glad all of you, my camera's up here, so glad all of you came on my channel today. And I appreciate it. We'll try it again. We'll try to always make sure I have a Saturday live if possible. During the week, if it gets where I can have one once in a while, I'll do it, especially if something interesting comes up. I just haven't been keeping up with anything out there. So I'm depending on you guys to bring subjects. I love it when you talk about food. That's my Achilles heel, if you will, or Achilles tendon. Oh, well, that's a joke, obviously. Anyway, talk to you later. God bless all of you. And you guys you're what keeps me going right now. So thank you so much. And I'm going to end it right here. See you later. John says ta-ta, and I do too.